Hey folks, before we get into letters and words, I wanted to talk a little bit more about materials and tactics that we're going to use throughout these videos. So I wanted to show like the ebook that I'm going to be using in these videos. It's called Panjabi Primer by Dr. Gurbaksh Singh. And why am I using these books? There are three reasons. First of all, it's freely available on archive.org. So you can just go to the website and I'll post it in the description and you can start learning today without any cost. So that's really neat. Second reason is it was made so that people who speak English can use English to learn Punjabi. So you don't have to really learn Punjabi from the beginning. You can use what you already know, your English level, what you know in English, and apply that into this instruction. So it's not like a very steep learning curve, it kind of evens out a little bit. It's a little bit easier. And the third reason is I like the cover. I mean, check it out. What is that, purple, magenta, blue? I don't know. It's just really cool. Okay, as for the next tactic, I wanted to recommend that you all, if you are using the keyboard to learn Punjabi, like to take notes, you're typing in letters in Punjabi, that the recommendation is that you get a phonetic keyboard that works with Panjabi. So let me show you an example. Well, first of all, here I just kind of searched for it, phonetic keyboard Panjabi. I have a Windows device, so I found one on this support.microsoft.com. But if you have a Mac, you might be able to find that with a different name. However, I think it's really important if you want to do this on a computer that you get that. Let me just show you an example. So go over here. Right now I have it turned on, the phonetic alphabet, Punjabi one. So for example, right now I'm typing in the letters H on my keyboard. It's just H and it's A. So as you can see, like when I put that in English, it already populates that as a Punjabi letter. So all I have to do is press 1 or just enter, and look, I have the Punjabi letter Ha, which is the same thing. So let me do another one, like B, A, there's Ba. So you kind of get the idea. I think this is very useful if you're going to take notes in Punjabi, just because, you don't have to find like the Punjabi letter code. It's like a completely different keyboard code if you do it how it is in Punjabi, or in India. Actually, the keyboards that they use there with like the non-phonetic alphabet, it's based on like old typewriters. So that's like, when I tried using it, it really detracts you from trying to learn because it's just a whole other thing. So this is good if you're using a computer to take notes in Punjabi. However, if you're just learning by pen and paper, you don't have to worry about this stuff. Lastly, let's talk about study tactics. So how are you going to study material as you learn it? How will you review so you don't forget? Are you going to make flashcards? How much time will you commit to practicing every week? What kind of study routine will you have? What are you going to do when you have questions? These are some decisions you'll need to make at this step. For me, I learn better when I have a conversation with myself. So I've made a Google Sheet that's like a flow of questions. Here's what I'll do. So this is my Punjabi question flow sheet, and I'm just sharing this with you. You don't have to use this, but this is kind of what works for me. So I have the Punjabi letter here. In this example, it's Ha, which we typed in. The next thing I figure out is, okay, that's the letter, but what part of speech is it? Is it a vowel? Is it a consonant? We'll get into more details as to what a vowel and consonant is in Punjabi, but for now, I just want to be able to categorize that so it's easier, so I can remember this letter not just as a letter, but also like what it signifies, how I'm going to use it. And then the sound, again, if you have the phonetic keyboard, this step becomes a lot easier. The description, which is kind of like the official, or what the our ebook Panjabi Primer is going to be describing it as, and an example word. So you go straight from letter. Already you're typing words, and this works well with the book as well, because, for example, this is Ha, letter Ha, and then this is a word that means heat in English. the word, okay, so it's written out as heat, like in Panjabi. This is heat, which is in English translates to heat. Anyway, that's kind of how this Panjabi primer works. Is you're putting things together, kind of like a Lego block, like part by part, and it ends up the result is an English word. So you can already pronounce what the result is. You just have to put it together, you know. And then what does it look like? This is more of like using your imagination. So when you think of this letter, like what are you gonna think about in your head? Oh, for me, I'm like, oh, okay, it kind of goes like that. It looks like a hook, and a hook, well, that uses the letter H in English, and then in Punjabi it's haha. So, you know, it's kind of like piecing together what I already know with this new information. That's why I like using this Punjabi question flow, because it's a conversation I'm having, but it's very continuous. And then obviously at the end, you need to make time for remaining questions. So that's kind of my workflow there. Anyways, this was supposed to be a shorter video, but you know, you kind of get the idea. Here at step 0.5, what are some key considerations? What do we need to do before we actually get into the nitty-gritty, the details, into the Panjabi primer book? Just take a moment to figure these things out for yourself. And if you have any questions, let me know. Type it in the comments. And I read every single one of those, so I'll be sure to adapt this course, I want to call it. It's not really a course, but this video series. And let's learn together. But that's all I wanted to say. Anyways, have a good day. Chakade Fate!